How you doing, everybody? Randy Richard in the shop, and today I'm going to just go over real quick the roof, and I got all the roofing done, so we're just going to talk about that real quick. That's about all I've been working on. I had to take a couple weeks off, and went to Montana, and we went to Washington to visit the kids. Since the Corona thing, we haven't really gotten out too much and to visit, so we went to Montana for a week, and then for a day over in Washington, been visiting the kids and the grandkids. So anyway, I've been working on the roof here for 5 days basically, and I got the skylight in, all the roofing's done. Been hotter than you know what. This got to be one of the hottest early summers we've ever had. Well over 100 most days. And the thermometer says 113, 114 in the sun. So it's pretty warm there. So I installed one skylight. It's a 2x4 foot skylight. Doesn't open, no shades, nothing real fancy. Cost me about $400. It's double tempered glass skylight. I put it about in the middle of the shop this way, right, the best spot between two of the trusses, and I put it so the light is pretty centered over the spot where you drive in. We'll look at it from the other side real quick too. This one has a curb, so it's a little higher than the roof. These work a lot better, especially in places where there's snow and stuff. They're not sitting down flat on the roof. It gives you a lot better drainage and such. So I went with one of these styles. So the roofing I used is Certainteed roofing. Trademark is the style or the brand name of it. It's an architectural style asphalt shingle. Pretty basic. We wanted a green type of roof, like the shop is a brighter green, and I'll be re-roofing the rest of the shop also with the same material. I really like how it came out. It worked out just perfect. I ordered one extra bundle. I used 20 and a half bundles. I ordered 22. That came out just right. I still have about a bundle and a half left, and we'll use it on the other one, and that's perfect. And I used Rapid Ridge Plus here for the ridge shingles. What else? I put a ridge vent in also underneath these ridge shingles. There's a ridge vent. I used Dow Corning ridge vent for it. It's just a rollout ridge vent, plastic. It's about half an inch thick or so. You kind of glue it down and just nail through it, seal up the ends, and that's about it. It's pretty simple. So you underneath the edge here, you have ventilation that can escape from the other side. I cut a 2-inch wide groove down the slot of the ridge. Pretty simple. Nothing real special about the roof. Other than it took me 4 days to put the shingles down. It took me a day to get the hole cut and framed in for the skylight and such. And then I spent about 4 days doing the roofing since it's so hot. I didn't work all day. I worked in the evening in the morning. But real happy with it. Swing it around. There we go. There's the other side. Still trying to acquire the siding I want. I haven't been able to do that yet. So this is the inside where the skylight is, as you can see up there. And what I'll be doing is I'll be lining that box. I framed it in with angles, and I will be closing that up so it's a box coming on down, and then maybe some light panels in here, so it'll be like a light. And inside of it, I might even put some lights for nighttime use. We'll see how that goes. But it's a good location. It's more centralized in here, so. Hey you guys, I got Tom here in the boat. We're looking at a 31 fish yesterday. The fishing was fantastic. Now we're fishing with a newbie over here, and his name is Chris, and he lost a fish, but now he's after another one over here, and this is an excellent spot for big fish. He just lost a big one, and there's another one in there, and he's trying for him. And he's hooking. Oh, pull that rod down. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, we're working on it. Oh, you lost your fly, I think.
Yep.
All right, what we're looking at here is the transition from the original shop to the new addition. This is down at the bottom of the wall. This piece here is called a drip edge. Now, I made that drip edge, you know, when I built the shop. So I had to remake it for the new shop to make this look similar. The problem here is this is a very rough corner as far as an offset goes. We have other siding on the end of the building back here, and I've already covered it up. But so I had to make a special trim for this differential in height, or thickness of the wall or the sheeting, and with the sheeting and everything. So this wall is set back farther than this siding is. This siding is 3/4 of an inch thick, and the new siding is only 5/8. And I had a difference because of the sheeting I put on is only 3/8. The sheeting, shear wall sheeting on here was 1/2 inch plywood. And this is 3/8 OSB. So I have, it's not just a direct transfer. Now I made the foundation in line with the other foundation, but you know, this is what it has to be. So I made a special trim piece we'll cover here, and then I made some new drip edge, and it will be set back a little bit, it's about 3/4 of an inch difference it looks like in the front, and then our siding will go up against the trim corner. Now I'll set the trim corner in there. This is what the back of that looks like. That's going to cover all that. And then our siding will sit on here like so and butt up against that. Just like that. I think that's going to look pretty good and give us a good transition that won't look too bad at all. Now what I've done though, because it's such a rough corner, I covered it with the butyl tape. This is they call it, I don't know, this is called tight seal window flashing, but it's a butyl tape. It's sticky, you peel off the backing, and on this side it has foil. Now I flashed all the windows double with this stuff, and I flashed the bottom edge of my plywood or the sheeting to the concrete. It'll help keep bugs out and any water that might seep up, and this will help keep bugs and drafts and everything out here, even though it's a good tight fit, but this will help seal this corner a bit. And we'll just cover it, we go right over it. Now we're going to caulk on the outside here of everything, and then when the sheeting's on, when the siding is on, we'll be caulking it down this seam also. Here, I'll slip this in, and you'll see how that goes up there around that. Real nice fit. Now on the end up there, the end of the existing soffit, I'll be putting new siding on that to butt up against the corner trim. Things you have to do for a retrofit. This stuff here takes a lot of time. Corner trim is in. Our drip edge is now all the way around the building. I have some vertical lines marked for where to nail for the siding. We shot this line in here all the way around the building level. So we measured for our drip edge, and that's how we made our drip edge level. Next is the trim on the window. I have one piece of soffit up there, so when the siding comes up tight against that, we'll finish our soffit up, and then we'll be able to do the corner. So we'll just work our way down and around the building. Okay, we're on a fish. Tom's got one, and we're going to net him here. Whoa, whoa, oh, Tom, you're over the oar. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go, you're clear. Got him. Nice. That's another 18-inch fish, I think, right there. Pretty close to it.
Yeah. All right.
Nice fish, Tom. I've had to employ help for preliminary staining. We're getting the back stained at some of the fronts, but mostly the backs, and then we'll stain the fronts once it's on the building. All right, this is one of the corners, the corner trims that the siding butts up against and everything. I pre-make the corner, and now I've made this. This is the 2x8 ripped down to 3.5, and then there's a piece here on the back which is 2 inches. So this is 3.5. So when you look at it, it has the same dimensions on each side of the wall. Now this is glued and screwed together, and this one just sat overnight, and we'll put it. So you'll see that's a cross section, and now this wood is pine, ponderosa pine. It's the same as trees that grow around here. And now we're going to do a little bit of work to it. You know, there's a little good glue squeeze out and stuff, and we're going to just hand plane this edge so it's nice and smooth. Put a little radius on the corner, and I do it all by hand. It only takes a few minutes. I just use this small block plane, what, about 6 inches, and there's no maker's name on it or anything. Very old. I came from my grandfather, and I just keep it sharp and keep it working, and it works excellent. It doesn't have the front handle anymore, but I love this little thing. There's nothing like a hand plane finish, let me tell you. Everyone should own 5 or 6. I've got at least that many. Now that's ready to install. Now these are all cut to fit already, and then they were glued together, each one separate. All right, I just stuck the corner on there. We'll screw that onto the wall. And I have one row of soffit up on that side because this corner I want it to butt up against it. And then we'll go down and put the other corner in. You can see how it butts up against that soffit. And it forms the edge on this side, on the front, for the siding to go against. And on this side, the siding will go against. We'll just screw this up here to the wall, and she's good to go. These are 3.5 inch Torx head ceramic coated screws. Now, a little hint about putting screws in with a driver. Drive it almost all the way in, back it out, because what will happen is the wood will push out away from the wall, and then when you back it out and then put it back in, it will drive the wood in tight. Well, I know people struggle with that, but it's in and out and then in again. And you can suck that wood up. You get the screw to suck the wood up tight. Otherwise, it won't do that. Oops. Hey, even a squirrel finds a nut sometimes, but I found a fish there today. At least a nice one, about 17. We'll have to get him out. It's kind of tough. He's gone. Back here is the south side of the addition and the other transition to the existing shop. Now this wall stuck out here. This came out here about 5.5 inches from the shop, the new addition. And that was because of the pad. I couldn't use the pad as the foundation. So I had to add on. I added about 7 inches of concrete to as the footing, or the stem wall part is 7 inches, and then the footing was another 18 inches for the wall to sit on, since this is a bearing wall. So then we had this transition of a little more width on the addition, right? So this corner's kind of been a little bit difficult. I'm up at the top here. I'll show you that. I have the soffit to deal with on the existing shop, and then I have this corner to deal with. And I've installed the corner trim. Now I'm going to fill this with siding. I thought about just doing solid pine, which was an option, but I want to cover up this along in here where the old trim was attached. And we evidently used some construction adhesive and stuff to attach it and nail it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put siding, little pieces of siding all the way up here, and then I'm going to put another piece of trim this way, and that will cover up the where the old trim was. And this little corner section will be done. So here is the existing soffit, the new soffit, the corner wall, and how I had to cut this corner trim to fit that, so I could transition on the corner up in that little short wall on the back here. Flashing this corner with the butyl tape here. And like I said, peel off the backing, and it's sticky. It's very sticky. And we just kind of press it in here to the corner. It's just going to give me a little bit of a layer of protection on that joint. If moisture or water ever got down in here, it couldn't get into the building. It will all run off. You got your vapor barrier stuff here, and so just gives you a little bit more protection. The stuff is really relatively inexpensive. And for this, the stuff I had was 9 inches wide, and I cut it into 3-inch strips, and then it just peels apart, and I can use the strips of it. Slip these in here. All right, there's this corner all trimmed out, all the way down, all the way up. It came out really nice. That's better than I was hoping for, actually. So, real happy with that. Now back to siding.
So one thing I added on the inside of the shop, since I got the lights and stuff, I put a tiny little attic fan up here, and you should be able to see that. That's a 10-inch fan, and it has just gravity louvers on the outside, so they automatically open and close when the fan comes on. And I just put it on a switch, no thermostat, and that will really help. It really made it just a big difference in here right now, just to get rid of some of that hot air up by the roof. So that was pretty good.
This is my siding installation crew. My son and my wife, they are doing a perfect job. You put a level on it, it's even level. I'm doing the cutting, and all we have is the very back to do, which is I can do by myself, but all this big stuff, just impossible to do by yourself. But it's coming out absolutely wonderful. We'll get this side, get all the 3 major sides done today. Wave, you guys. Wave and say hi.
Hi.
Well, today I can officially say that the siding is finished. It has been probably the hottest summer ever that we've lived here since we've lived in our house here since 1988, and yeah, definitely probably the hottest. Anyway, siding is done. Stain will be next on the outside. But due to the COVID thing, it's being a little bit difficult to get the stain here. So it might be another couple weeks before I even get the stain. So we'll get it stained as soon as we can, of course. But siding came out really nice. I'm very happy with the product, and it's just fantastic. Now this is a 1x8 pine, Ponderosa pine. It's made from the same trees that grow here. We have mostly Ponderosa pines. And now this stuff came from Northern California, though. Just from a mill up in Northern California. Anyway, I'm really happy with how it came out. Now you'll see some discoloration. Some of the stuff we put some, it was a light colored stain that we had because we painted all the backs of the boards. All the boards got stained on the backside with just miscellaneous stain we had left over, and some of a friend, and some of it we put on the front, and some of them because it was really light. It shouldn't really affect too much. But as you can see, it came out awesome, just awesome. Everywhere is done, corners, all the trim, everything. So we're really good to go. We'll just do a quick. I have to finish the caulking, and I'll have that in a couple days. But other than that, that's it.
So I'm really happy. And the next update will be doing the stain, and I want to get the final done, and then I'll do the electrical, the finish electrical. I finally figure out where all the equipment's going to go and stuff. Now, Usual suggested to me using the Grizzly Workshop Planner on Grizzly Industrial website, and that's an awesome little application if you're trying to plan where your tools go and things like that. You should check that out on the Grizzly Industrial, the Grizzly tool people, and look for Workshop Planner, and you can check that out. It's pretty awesome. So there we go. So we'll sign off on the shop update for now, and be good.